Welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast with your hosts, Tony Casanova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com and Krista Joy from DisneyWays.com. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the podcast at all times. And get ready for the Disney Parks Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast. We have for you tonight, we've got all-nighter news at Magic Kingdom. We've got some big announcements about that. Paradiso 37 and Planet Hollywood expansions. Randy sent us some Disneyland news, and we even have Disneyland Paris news this week for you from Roy. But first, Tony's going to kick it off with some big announcements.
And now, Disney Parks Podcast news.
Alrighty, it can't be a year in Disney World or Disneyland without a good old-fashioned 24-hour event, and it's back. I don't know if I'm happy or scared for my life. If you've never attended one of these events, I think you should try it once. That's all I'm saying, and you may like it, but I can tell you from my experience here in Florida, it is crazy crowded. So just be prepared. If you don't like crowds, then I'm going to tell you probably just disregard. But there's a new 24-hour event. This one is being called the coolest summer ever. And I hope they can live up to that because I really don't like a hot summer. And it's coming to Walt Disney World Resort, and it all begins with a fan favorite, a 24-hour event at the Magic Kingdom. So during Memorial Day weekend, the traditional kickoff to summer, Olaf will be the official host of the coolest summer ever, and it's kicking off the summer with an all-night party at Walt Disney World Resort Magic Kingdom, and it will be open for guests 24 hours nonstop from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m., and it will begin on May 22nd and end on 6 a.m. on May 23rd. So guests are invited to dress to show their Disney side, while the selection of favorite attractions, entertainment, merchandise, food, and beverage will all be on tap for a night of fun. And Krista's going to talk about a meetup that we're going to do because we are just that crazy. If we're going, we're going to have a meetup. You know, we should try and see if we can cram as many people into this event as we possibly can.
I think it's going to be big this year. So if we're going to go to Disney World, we want to see you guys. So we're having another meetup at this all-nighter. It's a tradition. We've been doing it for a while, and we always have a great group. So here's the plan. Friday, May 22nd, we want to meet at the Tomorrowland Terrace upper level. So I had to think for a second. What does that mean? So when you're walking up to the Tomorrowland Terrace Noodle Station from Main Street, that is the level on your right-hand side. It's a little bit higher than the other level. So that's the upper level. We are going to meet there. What time did we say? 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. So just we're going to hang out there and wait for you and look for you from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. We may have some surprises to give everyone, just saying, maybe. We hope to see you there. We're going to make a Facebook event page, so be on the lookout for that. And if you need any details or have any questions, let us know.
I think the surprise will be me awake at 10 o'clock. I think that'll be surprise enough for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not a late night owl.
I know. Tony turns into a pumpkin.
I'm not even an early morning person, so I don't know what I am. I'm just in the middle of the day, and after that, it's just no good.
Well, in other news, Aloha Isle and Sunshine Tree Terrace are going to be swapping locations and menus on March 12th. So actually, that already happened. That was a few days ago. So Dole Whip and other pineapple favorites will be available at Aloha Isle's new location behind the magic carpets of Aladdin, and Sunshine Tree Terrace will offer citrus treats near the front of Adventureland. So have you seen this yet, Tony? Have you been out there?
I have not, but I need somebody's help. I can't remember. I want to say the Dole Whip almost started at this location, and then later on moved over to its former old location. I'm not sure. I have a feeling. I think it's a good thing because there is certainly more room for people to line up and get their Dole Whips, and probably better for Disney because I think they can provide. I think there are 2 machines or 3 machines there. I think they can certainly get more Dole Whipped out faster. So I think this will be an improvement to everybody.
Okay, that's a really good thought. So, and then you have other food news for Magic Kingdom.
Turkey legs are leaving Frontierland. They're just going to get up and walk right out of Frontierland. They've had it. They are actually moving. Actually, they're leaving Frontierland and Liberty Square, but they will only be available in Tomorrowland at the Cool Ship starting on March 25th. Now, I don't know why they're moving them from Frontierland and Liberty Square. That just seems weird to me. There must be a place, too, in Fantasyland, maybe. Maybe not. I think... So it looks like Tomorrowland, Cool Ship, starting May 25th, is where you're going to get your turkey legs.
Yeah, really interesting. Wonder what's going on with that. So, and then over at Epcot, the Voices of Liberty have expanded their songs and they've added a new show. So Voices of Liberty has a fresh new look and sound for their appearances on the outdoor stage at America Gardens Theater. 2 days a week, this remarkable 8-part a cappella group is bringing their talents to even more guests, performing fresh arrangements of popular American songs, both classic and contemporary. Voices of Liberty will continue their traditional performances in the rotunda of the American Adventure Pavilion. So that'll still be there Wednesday through Sunday each week. So this is great, right? They're gonna utilize that outdoor stage with all that seating.
Yep.
And you'll be able to have lots of room to see Voices of Liberty. This is great. I'm really glad about this.
Yeah. It's just interesting that it's only 2 days a week, Wednesday. I'm assuming maybe that's just a test, a pilot, just to see how they do. But I think they should be out there way more than that. I think they should kind of alternate, inside, outside kind of thing. But
well, and it's interesting they didn't tell us what the 2 days are. So maybe they're going to be moving it around each week. And you just have to check your times guide.
Well, let me see. So if they'll be inside on Wednesdays and... No, they'll be outside Wednesdays and Sundays.
They'll be inside the rotunda Wednesday through Sunday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays.
Okay, so Monday and Tuesday would be my guess then?
Yeah,
okay.
It could be.
Interesting. Not a weekend. Weird, but that's okay. All right, more Frozen news because that is my favorite movie in the whole world. We are going to get some summer fun. This Frozen live thing will return to Walt Disney World yet again. We are going to get Princess Anna, Queen Elsa, Kristoff, and Olaf with the citizens of Arendelle appearing daily at Disney's Hollywood Studio, June 17th to September 7th. Just like the last celebration, it'll include the Frozen procession, for the first time in ever sing-along, a Frozen sing-along celebration, which is available now. You'll have Frozen fireworks, hot Frozen nights with the DJ dance party, Frozen merchandise, like there isn't enough, and more Frozen food and beverage as if there isn't enough of that, will all be part of Olaf's summer cool down at the Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now, Krista, you went to some of this last year, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And do you highly recommend, slightly recommend?
Yeah, well, for the families that really love Frozen and really just want to go all out, it's absolutely a can't miss. And right now, that's how a lot of families are. So why they're still doing this stuff, because people just cannot get enough. So I say, yeah, go for it. Why not?
Yeah, I've heard the Frozen fireworks are some of the better fireworks that have been done at Disney World in a long time.
I've heard that too. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to catch the whole show, but yeah, sounds good.
Let's mention one other thing too. If you didn't hear at the March Disney investors announcement, Disney Hollywood Studios is coming up with some very large changes. They didn't say what quite yet. I have a feeling something will be announced at the expo, and we'll get all the news then. But one thing they did mention is the Disney Hollywood Studios is going to have another name change. If you'd like to we should start a little Facebook post, what we think the new name of the Disney's Hollywood Studios is going to become. Maybe they're going to bring back MGM. They have all the old signs, I'm sure, sitting somewhere. They're just going to put them back up now.
I don't know if they're going to incorporate Star Wars Land, Cars Land. It's going to be interesting.
I don't think it's going to be Cars Land. I think we're going to get something called Pixar Place and a Star Wars Land. Mm-hmm. Or something Star Wars, whatever. I don't know if they call it Star Wars Land. I think Pixar Place is going to be one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So next up, we've got some fun news. Who doesn't love a good breakfast, right? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And the River Roost Lounge at Port Orleans is serving breakfast for a limited time. So you can go over to River Roost Lounge at Disney's Port Orleans Resort, Riverside, and get some breakfast items. And this is a pilot. They're just trying this out to see how people like it. That is going to be 7 a.m. to noon daily. And you'll be able to get stuff like pastries and sandwiches and cereals and oatmeal, all that good stuff up until May. So if you want to try breakfast at River Roost, go there before May this year and check that out. And then I imagine if it's successful, they're going to keep on doing it.
Okay, so here's something crazy. They used to serve breakfast at boat rides. They got rid of it, and now they're bringing back some kind of breakfast alternative at the lounge.
Yeah.
I just bring back breakfast at boat rides, right?
Yeah.
That would be the logical step for me, but maybe people aren't willing to sit down for breakfast. Maybe they just want to do like a grab and go, because that sounds like things that you can eat on the run.
Yeah, it really does, like before you go to the parks or whatever.
Yeah. And as my motto is, if you're eating or sitting, you're not spending money in the parks.
True.
And I'm sure Disney wants you moving towards the parks. Yet more Frozen news. Am I the Frozen news person today?
You really are, and it's a good thing it's your favorite subject because you got lots of it to cover.
I feel like you should do like a reporting from Arendelle, live from Arendelle.
Yeah, why not?
All right, Frozen Fridays are now at the Port Orleans French Quarter. So the wintry fun is flurrying over to Disney's Port Orleans Resort. The French Quarter beginning March 3rd, running through the end of the month. The resort will offer an evening experience to guests called Frozen Fridays. I'm using my air quotes there. The experience will run each Friday starting from 4 p.m. and the event will feature fun activities, a campfire, because Olaf wants to stay next to a campfire because he's a snowman, with a Frozen sing-along, special food and beverage offerings, and the showing of Disney's Frozen to the end of the night. OMG. I am glad I don't stay there often, or at all. Wow.
Telling you, go get your Frozen Friday nights on.
See, they should have called that like Fire and Ice. You know, if they're going to have a campfire and a Olaf, they should have called it like Frozen, Fire and Ice. Not cool, whatever, summer and have a fire.
Frozen
Your
Friday.
Disney marketing department. Could we help you name your events?
Well, in other news, there's a new bus service being tested, and this is between the water parks. So now until April 11th, Disney will be conducting a park-to-park test between Disney's Blizzard Beach and Disney's Typhoon Lagoon water parks. And this is going to coincide with what we told you about on another news show, the new park hopper ability that guests now have when both parks are open, both water parks are open. And the new route will be between Blizzard Beach to Typhoon Lagoon and then back, obviously. 1 hour, noon to 1 hour after park close daily, noon until they close. You can ride the bus. And 2 buses will be operating every 30 minutes. Interesting bus service.
I said just build a monorail between the two, but
yeah, that'd be nice.
Disney Springs, we have a little bit more news of what's going on down there. The Paradiso 37 and Planet Hollywood will be expanding and changing with Disney Springs. So as Downtown Disney continues to their largest expansion in history to transform Downtown Disney into Disney Springs, Paradiso 37 and Planet Hollywood will also be expanding and refreshing their offerings for guests. And both of these places need this desperately. Just recently at Paradiso 37, they really did not have a good experience, so I am hoping that they would do some fun and interesting things there. The renovations will include doubling the seating, adding more terrace dining over at Paradiso, building an outdoor performance stage, which I believe they really desperately need, and then also adding a second entrance because there is a little bit of a bottleneck in their one entrance right now. Updates are also included to add new artwork, fresher color palette to the restaurant. Paradiso 37 will remain open while undergoing all these renovations, which should be fun and interesting to see. Work is expected to be completed in the summer of 2015. On the Planet Hollywood side, we have a reimagining of the flagship location into a 4-story stargazing observatory with a revamped menu and expanded outdoor terrace and bar. It's also to be renamed the Planet Hollywood Observatory, and the venue will undergo an intensive renovation and share the Disney Springs turn-of-the-century design aesthetics on its exterior, which will be a delight because right now it's just a faded globe. The interior will feature a fresh new look throughout the space. Will also be adorned with a movie imagery and celebrity memorabilia, so that'll be cool. Also new to the venue will be an outdoor terrace and a bar called Stargazers that will overlook the heart of the property and will feature live entertainment. Refreshed dining options will highlight Planet Hollywood's timeless classics and introduce a host of new additions. The Planet Hollywood Observatory is set to debut in the spring of 2016. We were just talking about this before the show. There was a news break just recently that the Planet Hollywood is building a premium hotel on South Apopka, Vineland. It's going to be like 497 rooms. They're more towards the it's what they're calling a condo hotel. Starting price will be $290,000 for a one-bedroom, going all the way up to I believe it was $1.4 million for a four-bedroom penthouse. Planet Hollywood is still alive, and I guess moving into Orlando.
Yes. It sounds really cool. So much exciting stuff to look forward to. So, Tony, you and I both went to see the new live-action Cinderella.
I did not.
Oh, you didn't go see it?
I missed it. I had something else. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, man. Okay, well...
My Prince Charming hasn't come.
Well, I can tell you that it is a lovely, sweet, romantic movie. Go see it with someone you love. That's my recap. So, and I had a couple people write to me and ask me if it was, dark for kids or whatever. And I think it depends on your child, but it was pretty mild. I'm sensitive. Like, I didn't want to go see Maleficent because it looked too scary for me. This didn't bother me at all, for what it's worth.
Did it stick sort of to the animated story, or did they embellish it, make it better, make it worse? What do you think?
It's very much based on the original.
Okay.
They did make a few changes and spruce things up a little bit in certain ways. As I think everybody's no surprise about the golden carousel and how beautiful that is. And yes, the fairy godmother did make that out of a pumpkin like she did in the original. I gotta go see that thing. Is it still out? Do you know? Is it Hollywood Studios?
Yeah, I think it is.
I gotta go see it. Yeah. I gotta go see it.
Maybe leaving soon, so I would head over there shortly.
Yeah, so that's my little review. I hope that you'll go see it, and if you can't, then get it on DVD because it's a lovely movie, and it's just gonna get us ready for all the other live action stuff that's coming, right?
Yep.
Oops. Okay. So next up, we've got news from Randy in Disneyland, and you can find Randy at faithinthemagickingdom.com. So first up, Randy says on March 20th, the first part of the former Condor Flats area in Disney California Adventure, taking the place of Taste Pilot's Grill, Smoke Jumper's Grill will give guests a first look at the Grizzly Peak Airfield makeover. This theme of this new quick service restaurant is dedicated to forestry firefighters. That's kind of cool. And when Smoke Jumper's Grill opens, menu items will include a bacon cheddar burger, grilled chicken sandwiches, and a chili cheeseburger. And an announcement included confirmation that Soarin' Over California will have a new screen and projection system. This sounds familiar. We're getting this too in Disney World. It's going to reopen in May. They are saying, however, that their actual film that they show is not going to change out in Disneyland. Except Disney notified cast members that Innovations will be closing on March 31st. The company says new plans are under development for the space, but would not provide any additional details. Rumors are flying about a possible takeover by Star Wars, Marvel, or even both. And rumors suggest that the building may be temporarily used for a 60th anniversary museum during Disneyland's upcoming celebration. How cool would that be? And finally, Randy says we get the return of one of my favorite things from last year. Later this month, Big Thunder Ranch Jamboree in Frontierland will be decked out for the annual springtime roundup. Some of your favorite Disney characters will be stopping by to meet you, along with Mr. Easter Bunny and a bunch of famous Disney rabbits from Thumper to Roger. Randy says, when I was there last year, in one 30-minute or so period, he met Easter Bunny, Roger Rabbit, Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh, Thumper, and Briar Rabbit. That is just the coolest thing. I love that they do that. I wish that we could have that here.
Yeah, we don't get enough of those characters.
All those bunnies running around everywhere for Easter. And in addition, several times each day, a group of dancing cowboys and cowgirls comes together for a lively hoedown and bunny hop that will get you off your feet and joining right in. Springtime Roundup brings all that excitement, plus fresh spring talent from Disney Performing Arts, egg decorating demonstrations, crafts, treats, and more. All of this will kick off for you in Disneyland on March 20th, and we'll keep going daily through April 12th. And even after that, the fun continues on weekends all the way until June 7th. Good to know. You can do some Disney stuff for quite a while. Easter stuff out there in Disneyland. And really exciting news. Very happy to hear from Roy over at WonderRides.com, our Disneyland Paris correspondent. Thank you, Roy, so much for sending this over. He got us some really great Paris stuff. So here we go. In Paris, the second edition of the Swing into Spring season is welcoming guests until May 31st this year. And after a first successful edition, Disneyland Paris launches this colorful spring festival on March 1st, and this is providing the opportunity to celebrate flower power and awaken guest senses. The scene is set from the Disneyland Park entrance with the first show entitled Welcome to Spring, which is specially orchestrated by the residents of Main Street, USA, and Disney characters. As soon as guests arrive in Town Square, they're being immersed in a spring universe where butterflies, flowers, topiaries, and music are sure to submerge them in the magic of spring. That's all fun. And then they have Goofy's Garden Party, which is the biggest must-see event, Roy says. The Disney characters parade before guests' very eyes in a celebration of nature with lively music and blooming flowers. Goofy, surrounded by his assistant gardeners and playing the perfect host, sets the pace, swinging and presenting his all-new creations, which are magnificent topiaries that guests will love. A perfect moment that's guaranteed to brush away the cobwebs with Minnie and Mickey, Donald and Daisy, Chip and Dale, and also Alice, Pinocchio, Clarabelle Cow, and many others. And then they also have Minnie's Little Spring Train, which on board the little train, Minnie and her friends, accompanied by the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, Thumper, Miss Bunny from Bambi, and others, will parade in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle for all to enjoy. So more bunnies over at Disneyland Paris. That's fun. And then for the first time ever at Disneyland Paris, Bambi fans are going to be able to meet Thumper, the rabbit, and his girlfriend, Miss Bunny, and pose for pictures with them in a romantic flowery setting. So that's pretty cool. They're getting Thumper and Miss Bunny this year in Disneyland Paris. Do we have any news from Disney World about, I'm sure we're getting Mr. Bunny. Is there anything else that we're getting?
There's no Easter news for Walt Disney World yet, or Disneyland yet. They haven't made all of their announcements yet, so I'm sure they're coming. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that in our infotainment. But yeah, once we get the full-blown announcement, these are things that happen typically every year, so we're just going to talk about some of them.
Yeah, well, and that's infotainment this time. So Here we go.
And now, the Disney Parks Podcast Infotainment segment.
So this week we wanted to bring you some ideas for great stuff to do at Easter time at the Walt Disney World Resort. So we've got some little creative ideas and things you might not hear about otherwise, ways you can celebrate this season. So just some ideas. So Tony, what's your first one that you have?
I'm going to start with something. I don't think I did it last year, but I did it for like the first 3 years I was down here. On Easter Sunday, there is a bonnet parade. They call it an Easter parade. It's more, I think the Magic Kingdom calls it a bonnet parade. And it's all these women dressed in hoop skirts, all in very colorful pastel colors, like purples and yellows and pinks and pastel green and that. And they all have on these big, Easter bonnets. And the very last thing is the Easter Bunny at the end of the parade, but it's very colorful. If you're like towards the partner statue, it's just like the sea of women in hoop skirts with all these different colors. And they play, all the typical Easter bonnet parade music, songs, from old Easter movies and things like that. It's very cool. It's very colorful. It's very short. It's not a big thing, and you'll find it very hard. It's not in the Times Guide. The people at the resorts don't know about it. It's very, it's very hard to get the info on when this thing is, what time. It usually starts from Main Street and then goes all the way out to Frontierland. So I'll try to find out the exact time. I think it's something like 10 a.m. Magic Kingdom, Easter Sunday, but hopefully we'll be able to bring you some more details. Highly recommend it. I think it's kind of fun and kind of cute.
I love that. That'll be awesome. One thing we've talked about a little bit, and we really surely know is happening this year because it's been announced, is the Epcot Eggstravaganza, which is returning this year from March 27th until May 5th. And how this works again is you search for special hidden Disney character eggs, which eggs is in quote, at Epcot, and you purchase a map and stickers for $4.95, and then when you find each hidden egg, you can put your little sticker on the map to mark the location, and when you completed your map, you return it to the port of entry in Epcot by April 30th for a special surprise. And you can get those maps at Heritage Manor in the American Adventure Pavilion. You can get them at Penn Central or World Traveler International Gateway and Plaza Towers, which is there at the port of entry. So the Eggstravaganza, and we're having a little informal Easter egg hunt. I posted on Facebook, so let me know if you need information on that. But some of us are kind of just planning to get together and do this because I wanted to make time for it this year. I missed it last year, and it's really fun.
Who is it? Oh, our friend John Donahue was telling me at his church they drop Easter eggs from a helicopter.
Wow.
I'm like, hey, that'd be a great idea for Disney. Just let it rain Easter eggs. Just think of the chaos it would cause on the ground. Kids running for Easter eggs. Soon it might happen with a drone. All right, the next thing on my list is, this is also another Main Street thing that I'd like to do. During the Easter time, usually a couple weeks before and a couple weeks after, and I think even in the springtime, it may be even going on right now, they changed the little Main Street trolley show to a little spring trolley show and an Easter show.
Aww.
So they have different costumes on, and they sing different, more spring and Eastery songs. And, it's a kind of a cute change-up, and I like to see, I love when they do things on Main Street. I like the characters on Main Street. I like the little trolley show on Main Street. I wish we had the bus and the fire car and all that kind of stuff and the horse and carriage more often, like they used to have them run all day long. Now it's the first hour of park open, and then they shut everything down because there's way too many people. But hopefully someday they'll bring it back. But until they do, we can have a nice little spring trolley show to lift our spirits for the springtime.
Yeah, that sounds great. A lot of times the resorts do a lot of cool stuff, depending on where you're staying and all that. Captured some ideas for you and, subject to change, but this is the deal. Normally, you can get things such as pool parties, games, crafts, Easter egg hunts, relays. There's campfires sometimes and movies. You just got to check with your front desk when you check in and find out what all's going on for this Easter time. So one place you can check into is Caribbean Beach Resort, and at that one they're going to have Easter baskets available and special themed cupcakes. So we'll start with the Caribbean Resort, and I'll go through and talk to you about some more resorts as we go along here. But kind of cool to know that resorts are offering some fun things. And I think you're going to talk about a really special one, right, Tony?
I can.
Yeah. This is a special one to us, the Grand Floridian Easter eggs.
Mm-hmm. Over at the Grand Floridian, they did a special thing. It's only been going on a couple of years now. I thought the first time I saw it, it's been going on for years and years and years, but I was told that it was like the second annual when I saw it. So they make these huge, I would say probably 2 foot tall eggs that they carve out of chocolate, and they light them up, and they do, I'm telling you, the most intricate little carvings inside the eggs. Think of when you're putting this picture in your head, think of like a Fabergé egg, with decorations on the outside. It's maybe a little carved out, and it's got like a little scene inside. And these things are gorgeous. They probably taste good, too, because they're made of chocolate, but we're not allowed to eat them. It would be an interesting question. What do they do with all that chocolate at the end? Is there a giant cast member party somewhere that we don't know about? Give them knives and forks and say, go ahead, have at it. Although the chocolate has been out there for a couple of weeks. I don't know how tasty it is.
I'm thinking, no. Yeah, they probably spray some preservatives on it and stuff. So
shellac.
Wow, it's so beautiful. It's such a wonderful tradition. And, it's almost like Christmas time. To me, it's like worth making a trip to the Grand Floridian lobby just to see these beautiful eggs and get pictures of them, because they change them up every year too. Like, they're always different every year.
Yeah, they're based on, whatever movies are popular and out in the theaters and things like that.
Yeah, they come up with some really beautiful, creative ideas.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be an awesome Cinderella egg this year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if you go over to the Contemporary, they're going to have Easter baskets available. And the Wave, which of course is the restaurant inside the Contemporary, one of them, that one's going to have a buffet and brunch. Normally that will run from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Chef Mickey's will be open for extended hours. And again, brunch will be offered until 1 p.m. on Easter Sunday. So you can go get some special brunch items and stuff like that on Easter too. So that's fun.
Let's not forget the Easter Bunny. He is typically in Main Street, right next to, Chamber of Commerce and City Hall. That little meet and greet area to the left as you come into the Magic Kingdom. That's usually where you can meet the Easter Bunny. He's typically there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Dates will come out soon, so hopefully in some later news show we'll tell you the exact days the Easter Bunny will be there. There will also be a photo pass photographer there so that you can get a very cool picture of the Easter Bunny for your photo montage at home.
Yay! Can't wait to see Mr. Bunny. He's always dressed so nice. So also over at the Yacht Club and the Beach Club, they do Easter plush and they do candy, and they also have Easter baskets available. Cape May Cafe opens for extended hours, normally 7:30 to 11:30 a.m. And in addition to the normal buffet menu, Cape May Cafe features a carving station of candied bacon, which sounds amazing, but is subject to change. So you may or may not get candied bacon, I guess, but that's supposed to be on the menu. And then the dinner buffet will open 30 minutes early, so 4:30 to 9 p.m. But they do want you to keep in mind that no porterhouse steaks will be available at Yachtsman Steakhouse for whatever reason on Easter. But candied bacon, I don't know.
Good. I'm in.
For Easter. Yeah. Let's go.
The last thing on my list is Easter Sunday Mass. Last year, I believe it was at the Contemporary Convention Center, and they had Catholic Mass at 8 a.m. and 10:15 a.m., and then they had a Protestant service at 9 a.m. Hopefully a little bit later, in a couple of weeks, we'll be able to tell you the exact location of this. But if you are staying here on vacation, Disney is going to make it easy for you to get to Mass without even leaving the little bubble of Disney World. You'll be able to do that right from Disney World. You'll be able to go to church. There's nothing like church at the Contemporary Convention Center, right?
Yeah, church anywhere. Church anywhere.
I'm surprised they don't do it more often, like every Sunday, so people don't try to leave the property.
Yeah, interesting. I would imagine it's very, very busy. So I would think you probably got to kind of plan ahead and get there early, stuff like that. Did we talk about Peeptastic?
Yeah, I am not sure if the Swan and Dolphin's going to repeat this or they're going to do something different with it. So I wasn't really sure. But they did something with the Peeps last year, and I don't know if this is going to repeat. The other thing I know is there's a character pop-ups, like on Easter Sunday. I think like the Easter Bunny kind of goes from hotel to hotel. And I'm going to say he kind of only sticks to the deluxe hotels, unfortunately. Maybe the Easter Bunny's a snob. I don't know.
He's got to be first class.
Yeah. This is what I've heard, that, the Easter Bunny and other bunny characters. So you may see Thumper. You may see, like, the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. But I hear the bunny-type characters can be spotted usually in the morning. I would say sometime before 2 p.m.-ish, at Disney resorts. So if you are at your resort, be on the lookout for bunny characters hopping around.
Yeah, that sounds so fun.
Yeah.
if there's any way we can get you some more details, we definitely will. Like if you have somebody in your family that really wants to see, Miss Bunny or something like that, let us know, because sometimes we can find things out. It's not always, but let us know. We'll try to help you out if we can, because that stuff's important.
And a lot of the resorts, if you are coming down here too, don't worry about packing. Well, maybe you do. Let's put it to you this way. A lot of the resorts will sell pre-packaged Easter baskets that they'll sell in the lobbies of the resorts that you can purchase for your kids during your Disney stay, and you don't have to worry about the Easter Bunny not bringing something to them, or you trying to cram it into your carry-on. They will sell those things. Now, there is a premium because they are being sold at Disney by Disney. Be prepared to pay a little bit more. If you really absolutely have to, you can probably go off property to a Walmart or a Target and get that stuff. But they do have Disney pre-made baskets at most of the resorts. I think even the All-Stars and all the value resorts. So I don't think this is a deluxe resort only thing. I think last year I saw them almost everywhere.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, you don't have to jam that in your suitcase. It's one less thing you have to pack.
Yeah, and also look at themeparkconcierges.com, because Ramon and his team, they're really good about gift basket services and stuff like that. So they may be able to help you also. Just, give them some notice.
Not Saturday,
right.
A couple of days before Sunday.
Right.
Would be best.
Right.
Otherwise, Ramon will have our heads. Any more news stuff?
So, yeah, I think that about covers it. We covered so much this week. So we just want to thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. I think that about wraps it up, right, Tony?
I think that's it.
All right. We'll see you in the parks.
Hi, I'm Tony.
And I'm Krista. Tune into our show, Stars and Motor Cars, Saturday afternoons at 6 p.m. Eastern on Sorcerer Radio.
Every week, you'll hear us chat with Disney legends, Imagineers, and actors like Pat Carroll, the voice of Ursula.
And I help?
Yes, I do.
Disney legend and Imagineer Bob Gurr.
Pedro Hare, the voice of Belle.
Beast! Disney Resort TV's Stacey J. Oswald.
And author Ridley Pearson.
And Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy.
Something wrong here.
And so many more. You'll also hear your favorite Disney Parks Parade music.
Follow us on Twitter at Disney Podcaster and on Facebook.com/Disney Parks Podcast.
To get even more Disney fun, download our sister show, the Disney Parks Podcast, on iTunes. Tune in to Stars and Motor Cars, presented by the Disney Parks Podcast, Saturday afternoons at 6 p.m. Eastern,
3 p.m. Pacific, only on Sorcerer Radio.
srsounds.com. The Disney Parks Podcast is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company. All Disney parks, attractions, lands, shows, event names, etc. are registered trademarks of the Walt Disney Company.
Like a boat out of the blue, fate steps in and sees you through.